Lincoln has many medical diagnoses, including airway disorders. His airway disorders are laryngomalacia, tracheobronchomalacia, subglottic stenosis, and that means that effectively his whole airway system is very, very floppy. Winter and spring were really isolated. It's difficult. We don't catch up with many friends and family. We have to make sure that everyone is well before they come around. So many other parents out there with even healthy children, let alone having airway disorders, struggle with their children in hospital with RSV, and it's hard. You just want to scream at the rooftops for everyone to stay home if they're not well. Everything was fine through pregnancy. There was no concerns, nothing, and it was the minute he was born, really. He didn't cry straight away, and I could tell that he wasn't breathing properly, but there was no real concerns. It was just put down to being such a fast labour. It was 4 hours later, and a doctor came in, took one look at him from across the room and goes, "This child needs to be admitted." I remember being in the hallway of NICU, like slumped on the ground 4.5 hours post-birth, and had no comprehension of what would be even like 2.5 years later. He struggles every day with it, and it's something that even when he's asleep, you can see his poor little body working so hard to do something so easy as breathing.
Yeah.
Everyone would say he's breathing like a rattlesnake. Like, he's a very noisy breather. Like, is this normal? Like, do you need to maybe, you feel like you just want to give him a real good pat on the back. Then he fell sick at 2 months. He had 5 to 6 viruses in that point in time. I felt like we were always there, like living in the hospital. It was a very long 9 weeks. Very long 9 weeks. Having the airway disorders that he had, we never would have thought that he wouldn't be able to eat or drink. Back then I was like, so you're telling me that my 1-year-old is not going to be able to eat birthday cake? That was my worry. Now it makes sense. If he is to eat something or drink something and it goes down the wrong way, he does get aspiration pneumonia, or he at least gets that really chronic, he's got a really chronic wet cough, and that gets worse, and then that means that his airways are struggling more. Lincoln is level 3 autistic and classified as non-verbal. If he feels yuck, he won't necessarily be able to tell us that he feels yuck. So our day-to-day routine revolves around, making sure that his oxygen is okay and making sure that he's getting enough fluids in him, because without that tube, he'd be so malnourished. It's the best thing that they've ever really done for him. The respiratory team that we have, the overall team, are fantastic, and they're very, very great at listening to us. And I think that's the biggest thing that I could, as a parent, to go into a hospital and go, I need help. Then them actually listen and be able to work it out as fast as they possibly can and work so closely together. If we were to not have that connection, I don't think we'd be where we are now. My greatest wish for Lincoln is for him to not feel any less than anyone else. And I think I can wish that, whether or not he's going to be able to get to 10 years old and go, I'm just the same as everyone. We won't know until the time comes. That's hard. The unknown is hard. Help kids like Lincoln breathe easy. Donate to PCHF today.